Hello, I'm Christopher from Learnry, and in this video we are going to learn about comments. So by the end of this video you will know everything about what comments are, the types of commenting capabilities in Python, and also why I use comments. So let's start off with what a comment is. So when working with any programming language like Python, you include comments in the code to explain some portions of your code. Now, why use comments? So using comments is a necessary practice, and good developers make heavy use of the comment system in any programming language. So without comments, your code can get very confusing in no time. So another reason why it is very important to comment your code is not just about you, the one who wrote the code, but then it also has to do with other developers. So let's say you write code for a piece of software, and some years down the line, the company that you worked for wants to update a little functionality in that particular software. Now, it may not be you that has to do the update, maybe it might be some other developers. And so that is where comments will come in handy, because if you commented your code properly, then the new developers that were hired to implement that particular update would then find everything very easy to work with. So there could also be a time where you as a developer would be hired to maybe work on somebody else's code. And so that is where comments will come in handy, because if the code you're going to work on was commented on properly, then it makes your work as a developer easy, because you don't have to try and figure out everything that the developer for that particular code was trying to do. So now let's talk about the types of comments that we can write in Python. Now in Python, there are two ways to comment your code. The first is a single line comment. So a single line comment is used to indicate or explain what a piece of code does in just one line. So a single line comment can be created by beginning a line of code with the hash character. Multi-line comments are paragraphs that serve as documentation for those reading your code. So multi-line comments can be created by beginning and ending a piece of text with triple quotes. So I want you to think of a single line comment as a comment for yourself, and a multi-line comment as a comment for others. So there is no right or wrong way to add a comment to your code. However, you can do whatever feels comfortable for you. Okay, so as always, I have my command prompt interface open on the left hand side, and on the right hand side I have my Visual Studio Code editor. So we are going to use the same folder we used for the last video, that is the Python tutorials folder. So now I'm going to talk about comments. So we have already spoken about why we use comments and also what a comment is. Now let's start off by learning how to write a single line comment. So I'll be doing all my coding in my Python file, which I've not created yet, and I'll be running the file using the command prompt interface. Now let's go ahead and we're going to create our Python file. So let's click on this new file icon, and we're going to call the file test as usual .py, and we hit enter. Now our Python file is created. So first of all, let's write a print statement. So print, and we are going to have hello world. Okay, world. Now let's save this. So now let's try running this piece of code here. So let's go back to our command prompt interface, and we are going to say cd. We are going to cd into the desktop of the computer. Now let's cd into the Python folder. So now that we're in the folder, we can now get access to the Python file and run it. So let's say Python, and we're going to do test.py, and we hit enter. Now you can see we got hello world. So everything is working fine. But what about if we wanted to add a little bit of documentation to this particular code here? Maybe we wanted to write some little information about what this particular line of code does. So how do we do this? Now we can do it by using a single line comment. So I'm going to hit enter to give myself a little bit of space on top here. And in order for us to write a single line comment, we basically have to start with the hash sign. So I'm going to say hash, and whatever you type after this hash sign is basically a comment. Now when we say a comment, what it means is that the Python interpreter will not run whatever is commented inside your code. So I'll say this code displays hello world in the CMD prompt. So let's have a full stop. And when we save all this, what it means is that when we run the Python file again, this particular comment is not going to run because it is a comment. It's just for documentation purposes. But this print statement here is going to run because this is not a comment. So let's go back to our command prompt interface, and we're going to do an up arrow key again, and we hit enter. So we can see that this particular line of code didn't run because that is a comment. It is only our print line that was executed by the Python interpreter. So now if we put a hash sign before the print statement and we save the file, and let's go back to our command prompt, press the up arrow key once, hit enter. Now you can see that nothing happened because we have virtually commented every line of code in our Python file. So there is basically nothing for the Python interpreter to run. So that is what comments do for us. So this is how we write a single line comment in Python. I'm going to take out the hash sign before the print statement again. We save the file. Let's go back, and we are going to do an up arrow key, hit enter. So now we can see that the print statement was executed. So now that we know how to write a single line comment in Python, let's take a look at how to write a multi-line comment. So a multi-line comment is when you want to write a piece of documentation in your code, and that particular piece of documentation is very lengthy. For example, it's a paragraph. That is when we use a multi-line comment. So in order for us to write a multi-line comment, we are basically going to use the triple quotes. So we are going to have a beginning triple quotes, and then we are also going to have an ending triple quotes. Now, whatever text we write in between the opening triple quotes and also the ending triple quotes, that particular text or piece of code or whatever we type in there is going to be treated as a comment. So if you remember, we said that usually comments are not executed by the Python interpreter. So whatever piece of code or text we type here is not going to be executed when we run the Python file. So for example, if I say print and I have hello world and I have my exclamation sign and I save this file, let's go back to our command prompt. We are going to do an up arrow key, hit enter, and now you can see that this particular line of code was not executed because it's a comment. So that is a multi-line comment. But our first print statement was executed because that is not commented. So this is the difference between a single line comment and a multi-line comment. If you want to create a single line comment, we basically use the hash sign, and if you want to create a multi-line comment, we use an opening triple quotes and also a closing triple quotes for the multi-line comments. So that is it for how to write single line and also multi-line comments in Python. Now the question of the day is, why do we write comments when coding? You can leave your answer in the comment section below. Okay, so if you are new to this channel and found this video helpful, then click on the subscribe button and the bell notification icon below so that you'll be notified when new videos are uploaded. Bye for now, and I will see you in the next lesson.